Here we go. Listen.
Take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. I'm the guy that said, rehabilitation, when it occurs, we don't understand it and notice it. And even when we notice it and we know it occurs, we don't know why. So you cannot make rehabilitation a condition for release. That's why in our system, there's the federal system, you serve 85% of your time. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate. But there is a consensus, and I will cease. A, we must make the streets safer. I don't care why someone is a malefactor in society. I don't care why someone is antisocial. I don't care why they've become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, try to help them, try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it. But they are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. But we would be absolutely stupid as a society if we didn't recognize the condition that nurtured those folks still exist. And we must deal with that.
Now, look at this. Listen to this. Biden said, it says black students turn school into a jungle, a racial jungle. Listen, I don't want my kids to grow up in a jungle, a racial jungle. Joe Biden's controversial remarks on Friday morning when he told millions of black Americans across the country they ain't black if they support President Trump over him has caused some people to look back through his racial record. And so, all he's got to do is get the lady who was on The Bachelorette on The View to protect and cover for Fauci and Gates. And all you got to do is have Kamala Harris as your running mate, and then forget what you've actually done and said. Why isn't this being brought up? See, because guys, colonization is still in effect. And this is the harsh reality people don't want to understand. And so they think that, the reason America gets $10 million a day to a place called Israel that was helped formed by the British, that when I say British, of course I'm telling you, I'm saying these are some people within Britain. It's evil men who are doing evil things, and they happen to be identify themselves as British. It's not British people in general, okay? People don't want to understand or even believe that colonization is still very much a part of what's going on right now. And that a lot of these things that they're doing, they're lying and they're faking Bible prophecy. Before in the past, America was New Israel, and Christopher Columbus was chosen, and Connecticut, New Haven was New Heaven, and now they say, oh, now it's in the Middle East. Well, of course they're going for this. They're going. They tell you they tell you openly, and you can't even understand. They're going for global dominance, and I'm just telling you, look, these guys are lying to you. They're lying to you. Plain and simple, they're lying to you. This is not Bible prophecy being fulfilled. Only part of this is being fulfilled is man is showing their wicked heart and they're bringing forth death. The king of this world is death. This world is ruled by death. Death rules over even the most wicked man, and all men are wicked, but death rules over everyone. So that's why Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. Flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Children of flesh aren't children of God. I'm telling you that. This is the truth. So anybody who claims they're a chosen person according to their foolish genealogy is just lying to you, plain out and right. But these guys think that they're special and they think they're chosen. That's why they're doing this. And so don't get confused by the labels that people want to call themselves. The labels are somewhat of a misnomer and a trap. Anybody can call themselves anything. Anybody can call themselves anything. And this guy is saying, I don't care how they got there. Yeah, we may recognize we may have some point, but he said they're beyond the pale and that they cannot be really rehabilitated. That's why they serve 85% of their sentence. Not everybody serves 85% of their sentence. If you look in the statistics, even that is, quote unquote, done differently across the so-called races. And so now you see why they need to parade and put people who look a certain way out front when they're defending their policies. Because these people do believe in Darwinism and eugenics. That's why he said in the first thing, he said we had evolutionary virologists or whatever, evolutionary scientists looking into this. They believe in evolution. They believe in that. They believe in a lot of these people believe in the curse of Ham and all this kind of stuff. Their interpretation of it, at least. I did a video on it. So you got to understand these people, they're like, well, we got a liberal in the White House now, right? We got George Soros is sponsoring Black Lives Matter. Yeah. It's divide and conquer. These guys invented race. They know race is what a lot of people hang their hat on. And they said, well, we'll just create racial tensions. Republican, Democrat, black, white, liberal, Republican, high income, low income, blah, blah, blah. But then all you got to do is say, well, who benefit? Like any crime scene, you say, who stands to benefit? What's their motive? If they're lying, why are they lying? People don't lie for no reason. People lie for a reason. And why is a billionaire so concerned with Africa? Okay? I'm going to let it go at that because this has gotten way longer than I wanted to do. But, they're not going to show you a lot of this stuff on TV, guys. And they're not going to connect any... Their whole thing is not connecting dots. Their whole thing is to misdirect. And they're doing a very good job of misdirecting people right now.